Hello and welcome to jasonnewland.com. My name is Jason Newland. Please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. And this is going to be a calming hypnosis recording to calm your mind. Now, there will be some background sounds occasionally, and I am joined by my co-host, Vinny the Jack Russell, and he's underneath the desk, just doing his thing. So there might be some background sounds. If you listen with music, then you're less likely to hear that. So I do 6 versions of this recording, 1 without music, 1 with music, and then 5 and 10 hours, both with and without music. The podcasts are available pretty much everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere that you listen to your podcasts. Also, all 6 versions are uploaded instantly to YouTube, and they're also available to listen on my website, and you can stream and download them. So you can download them, to your computer or to your phone to listen to later, or just to keep. I do have a Facebook group called Jason Newland's Boring Group, which you can join if you like to, and you can meet other people that enjoy listening to my recordings. So what I'm going to ask you to focus on really is just getting comfortable. Sitting in a chair that supports your body, lying down, or lying down on a bed, a sofa, something that feels comfortable to you, remembering that you can change your physical position anytime you choose. I'm just waiting at the moment for the council to come round and fix my front door. That's a bit of random information for you, isn't it? Last night, I had a visitor and they let the door slam. Normally I close it quietly. And we went to open it to go out, and we couldn't leave the flat. It was jammed. It wasn't locked, it was just stuck. So he had to phone his girlfriend to come round and me to put the keys through the letterbox for her to open the door. It took a while, not because of the door like being stuck, but just because she couldn't stop laughing. But eventually she got up off the floor and undid the door, and it opened easily. And it stuck again, and I got a neighbour that had the similar thing happen last night to their door. Not to my door, but to theirs. And she got stuck outside of her door, couldn't get in. So I've called the council, and don't know when they're going to be here, so when they do knock, Vinny will just be barking really loudly, but I won't leave that in, obviously, so you won't know. In fact, I didn't even need to mention it. I don't know why I did, really. I just like to share the important stuff. That's what it is. Now you can listen to this recording to relax, or you can listen to this recording to fall asleep. At the end of me talking, I would literally just say to you, if you want to, you can just continue to relax even deeper and fall into a deep sleep if you haven't done already, or if you choose, you can open your eyes whenever you're ready. So I would advise, if you need to be somewhere and you need to, let's say, be alerted in an hour to wake up, then maybe set your alarm. Press pause, just set your alarm. And it's not because I'm particularly good at this, it's just apparently, according to many people, I'm very, very boring. So there's a chance that you may just fall asleep. Possibly before I've even started the recording, really, because I haven't started yet. Sometimes people contact me and say, did you actually do any hypnosis? Because the last thing I heard is you were talking about a parrot. And I don't know why you were talking about a parrot, because that didn't seem to have anything to do with the relaxing my feet. And then I woke up, and it was an hour later or 2 hours later. So yeah, I mean, it's not always about a parrot. I'm not constantly talking about parrots, just in case you're wondering. So, if you want to, you may choose to just close your eyes, because I'm not going to spend the next 10 minutes trying to get you to close your eyes, because I can't be bothered. It's like, if you want to close your eyes, close them. If you don't, you can leave them open. But why would you want to leave them open when you can close them? Personally, I find it more relaxing if I'm listening to a relaxing recording, or even if it's a lecture, on sort of TV, on YouTube or whatever. I like to close my eyes because it allows me to relax more. Because when I close my eyes, it relaxes my eyes, of course. That's all standard, isn't it? But then my face seems to follow. And my jaw, my mouth, my neck, and it seems to just move down your body. Shoulders, chest, stomach, arms, hands, back, your hips, and down your legs and into your feet and toes. And your arms, hands, and fingers. It just seems to happen naturally. And that closing your eyes is almost like you're giving yourself permission to let go and relax. And it tells your mind that it's time to calm down. And that's what this recording is all about. Calming your mind. And even though we've only really just started. You may begin by simply noticing that something is already happening, even without trying to make it happen. Because your mind has its own rhythm. Its own habits of movement. Its own way of settling when it realizes that there's nothing it needs to solve right now. There's nothing to think about. There's nothing to do. And you can hear my voice. In fact, you don't even have to listen to my voice if you don't want. You may notice that your mind drifts. And as you listen to these words, you don't have to do anything with them. They can drift past or linger or fade into the background like sounds in another room. And some people notice thoughts slowing first, and others notice a gentle softening behind the eyes. And some only realize later that your mind has already begun to calm before you consciously recognized it. It's interesting how the mind can learn calmness without any effort whatsoever, because effort belongs to thinking, and calm belongs to allowing. And allowing can happen while your conscious mind is occupied with following sentences that don't demand answers. You might even notice that the space between thoughts becomes slightly wider, not empty, just wider. And if a thought appears, it doesn't need to be pushed away, because thoughts are allowed to come and go. And they tend to leave more quickly when they're not restricted. Like clouds that drift on when no one tries to grab them. And the mind understands this metaphor deeply. And it already knows how to let go, because you've let go so many times in the past. You've relaxed your mind so many times. And somewhere inside there is a part of you that remembers what calm feels like. Not an idea, but as a state. That part doesn't need instructions. It only needs permission. And permission can be given indirectly by simply continuing to listen without expectation. And you may notice moments where nothing important is happening. And those moments are useful. They are the doorways to calm. And while a conscious mind may still label things like sound, thought, memory, another level is beginning to smooth out the edges. And this is where the mind naturally organizes itself. Because the nervous system prefers balance. It moves toward it automatically when nothing interferes. And right now, nothing needs your interference. And you might become aware of a gentle mental distance forming, not dissociation, just perspective, as if you're slightly further back from your thoughts, watching them instead of being inside them, watching them from a distance. And from that position, everything feels less urgent. Because urgency dissolves when it is observed. And you don't need to decide to relax deeply, because your mind relaxes when it realizes that there is no demand. And your unconscious mind, that deeper intelligence, is already adjusting internal settings, lowering background noise, reducing mental brightness, and turning down unnecessary channels, because you don't need to know how it does this. You just need to let it continue. And sometimes calm feels like warmth. Sometimes like heaviness. And sometimes like spaciousness. And other times it feels like nothing at all, which is often the deepest calm. And if your mind wanders, that's perfectly fine, because wandering is part of settling, part of letting go. Like a snow globe that has been shaken, the flakes don't stop instantly. They slow, they drift, and then rest. And each moment of listening allows more settling, more calm, more peace. And you may notice that your attention begins to drift inward, not focused, not scattered, just gently present. And this is a state where your mind repairs itself. Old tensions loosen, mental habits soften, and the inner dialogue loses interest in continuing. And the calm becomes self-sustaining. And there may be moments of silence between words, and those silences are doing important work. Because calm lives in the pauses, and as those pauses expand, the mind begins to recognize familiarity, a quiet recognition that this is safe. Safety is the foundation of calm. And when the system feels safe, it stops scanning, stops predicting, stops rehearsing. It rests. You may feel as though time becomes less defined. As minutes lose meaning. And there is only this ongoing gentle experience and the deeper mind understands that this state can return easily later, anytime, without effort. Because once learned, calm becomes a skill the body remembers. There's no need to hold on to this feeling, because holding is effort, and effort wakes the mind. Instead, let it continue unfolding on its own. And even if thoughts briefly return, they arrive in a quieter voice now. less convincing, less sticky, and eventually even those soften. And your mind begins to feel like a calm surface of water, depth below and stillness above. And whatever needs to integrate will integrate. Whatever needs to settle will settle. Because you're not forcing calm. You are remembering it. And your mind, calm, balanced, and unhurried, knows exactly how to remain here for as long as it is useful. And when this experience naturally transitions, the calm will remain quietly accessible in the background of everything that comes next. And every time you listen to my voice in the future, you can feel more relaxed, with a calmer mind and a loose body. If you choose, you can open your eyes whenever you're ready, or you can just drift off into a deep sleep. So thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself, because you deserve to be happy. Be gentle with yourself. You deserve to feel safe. And also remember that you are enough. You're already enough. And you're going to be okay. Lots of love. Bye.